Warning: the moon has an accident, and scientists have found 2 trillion tons of gold on the back of the moon. Could it be the base of aliens? 2019 years. A team of scientists from Baylor University in the United States discovered a huge golden beast hundreds of kilometers underground in the Aitken Basin in Antarctica, on the far side of the moon, with a total mass of 2 trillion tons. With the terrifying gravity, the bottom of the basin was dragged down by 8,000 meters, quietly twisting the gravitational field of the moon. This number is so shocking to the bottom. If this piece of gold is moved to the Earth, its volume is equivalent to that of 5 large islands of Hawaii superimposed on one piece, which can be called the top space treasure left behind in the Taeyong system. Many people will wonder that this massive gold is buried 3,000 kilometers deep underground. Human roots have no equipment to penetrate such a deep lunar strata. How did scientists discover it? The answer is hidden in an extremely accurate CT scan of the moon. In 2011, NASA launched a twin probe called the Holy Grail, and 2 satellites of large and small attacks flew in formation in an orbit only 50 kilometers from the lunar surface. Accurately capture the subtle changes of distance. The precision is so high that the difference in thickness of a hair can be detected. When the probe flies over an area with a large density underground, the increased gravitational pull will gently pull the satellite, causing a short wave of distance between the 2 satellites. Through these small gravitational marriages, scientists have drawn a high-precision gravitational anomaly map of the moon, which is the inner perspective of the moon. It is on this map that the combined geomorphological mapping data finally confirmed that this group of 2 trillion tons of gold is a huge and thin existence. And for a while, the speculation of the remains of ancient spacecraft on the alien planet base was very loud. Truth is far more cruel and shocking than science fiction. To solve the mystery of the gentleman of the golden behemoth, it is necessary to first lock the scene of its crime, which is the Antarctic Aitken Basin, which is not a common meteorite crater, but the largest known in the entire solar system. The deepest and oldest impact scar can be called the first scar of the Taeyong system, and its diameter reaches 2,500 kilometers, which is equivalent to the straight line distance from Beijing to Sanya. And the depth is as high as 13 kilometers. It is deeper than the Mariana Trench, the deepest on Earth, and a section more than the height of Mount Everest. Being able to smash out such a terrifying pit of giant stars is by no means something that ordinary small stars can do. We all know that 6,000 years ago, the diameter of the extinct dinosaur was only 10 kilometers, which was enough to completely shuffle the Earth's biosphere. The interstellar assassin that smashed the back of the moon 4 billion years ago is estimated to be a small costar at a distance of 15020 kilometers. The instantaneous release energy of its impact on the moon is enough to vaporize the entire lunar Earth gun. This space-level collision also became the core clue to crack the source of gold saws. At present, the most mainstream and most consistent inference in the field of astrophysics is also the most violent aesthetic answer. These 2 trillion tons of gold are the remains of the interstellar assassin back then. It is its deeply buried iron-nickel core. The large objects in the early Taeyong system will go through a process of integration and overflow. The heavier iron, nickel, coal, and other heavy metals in the inner part will slowly settle into the center, forming a dense gold spherical core. 1 year ago, the circular star crashed into the far side of the moon at a speed of tens of kilometers per second, and the terrifying kinetic energy exploded instantly. The high temperature of tens of thousands of degrees completely vaporizes its rock shell and the crust on the surface of the moon, turning it into debris all over the sky. However, its dense and hard iron-nickel-gold core has not been completely melted and destroyed. At the special angle of the inclined impact, the core of this golden genus was torn into pieces, like a dam egg that penetrated the flesh. The real body was embedded in the half-melted earth of the moon, and it was not completely gasified or completely shattered. Normal physical laws, such a heavy metal mass should continue to sink under the action of gravity. In the end, it merges with the inner core of the lunar sphere. But the volume of the lunar sphere is much smaller than that of the Earth's sphere, but it is surprisingly fast when cold. After the impact, the moon and the Earth slowly and quickly dissipate heat, slowly solidifying from a viscous, semi-fluid into a hard, solid rock. It froze this metal behemoth 300 kilometers underground, so that it could no longer sink, like a bullet that could never be pulled out, embedded in the back of the moon, becoming the eternal iron of that ancient cosmic catastrophe. Of course, scientific research has never only concluded that the origin of the golden genus is very thin, but there is also another rigorous hypothesis based on the evolution of the lunar sphere, which is the heavy gold sediments of the early magma of the lunar sphere at the beginning of the birth of the lunar sphere 4 to 500 million years ago. It is a fiery fireball completely covered by magma, which is the whole sphere of magma oxygen. With the continuous cooling of the low temperature of the universe, the magma began to appear and separate, and the lighter minerals floated to the surface, forming the lunar highlands we see today. Heavier minerals sink to the bottom. In the last stage of magma cooling, a large amount of heavy metals such as iron and titanium are attached to the residual magma. and finally solidify into a very dense gold layer, forming an unstable structure with upper hydrogen and lower weight. Under the action of gravity, this heavy layer of gold material flipped violently, sinking frantically like a black water ground. The giant impact of the Aitken Basin in Antarctica later stripped away most of the crust and changed it. In the end, these heavy gold genera and sediments gathered abnormally, forming this group of 220 trillion tons of gold, which became a special product of the evolution of the lunar sphere. If it is the core remnant of a small star, in addition to a large amount of iron and nickel, it is also rich in extremely rare precious metals, such as the Bold target, as well as various rare earth elements, and its economic value is enough to buy the entire Earth several million times. More importantly, these resources, there is no need to transport the Earth back to the ground. With the advancement of China's International Lunar Research Station, the South Pole of the Moon has long become the core focus of the space game. In the deep pits of the Antarctic Aitken Basin, there is a large amount of permanent shadow zone of the waterfront. It can decompose hydrogen and oxygen as fire arrow fuel, and the underground gold giant is a ready-made aerospace raw material. In the future, humans will build a base on the moon and will not need to transport building materials from the Earth. By directly mining and smelting these metals on the spot, it is possible to build giant space and airports, interstellar spacecraft, and even space defense facilities. The gravitational pull of the moon is only 1/6 of that of the Earth, and the cost of launching a deep space spacecraft on the moon will drop in several orders. These 220 trillion tons of gold are equivalent to 4 billion years before the Taiyang era, and are the springboard for humans to break through the shackles of the Earth. The key to entering the interstellar culture. Seeing this, do you have a completely new understanding of the moon? We have thought that the moon is a gentle white moonlight, a loyal companion that has accompanied the Earth for billions of years. But I didn't expect that there was such an earth-shattering secret hidden on its back. This group of 220 trillion tons of gold is ironclad evidence of the ancient cosmic catastrophe and the hope of mankind that has never come. Maybe. In the near future, as humans continue to explore the lunar sphere, we will be able to discover more hidden truths, and perhaps behind this group of gold gems lies the ultimate secret of the birth of the Taiyang system. Finally, I would like to ask you a question. Do you think this 220 trillion tons of gold is the core remnant of a small star, or a product of the moon itself? Leave your guesses in the comment section. Follow me. In the next issue, I will take you to unlock more subversive and recognize true aspects of the universe. Like and collect. Otherwise, you will never be able to find it again.